Hello and welcome to this review of the ACP-620 study session number 1. Here we're going to go over the major points that you might have missed or need a quick refresher on. Last week was our first study session in this series, so we spoke about some higher level concepts and things that will impact how we study and approach. One of the most important things is your why. Why are you choosing to study for this certification? There is no wrong reason. However, you should take a minute to consider yours. Are you doing it to expand your knowledge? Are you doing it to get a job or impress your boss or to prove yourself to yourself or someone else? Or do you just like adding certifications to your collection? The reason doesn't really matter. What does matter though is that you know what yours is. Write it down on a bit of paper, stick it on your computer, so when you study, you remember. This will help motivate you and help you actually get through all of the work we're going to put in together so you can earn your certification. Now, before we keep talking about spaces, keep in mind there are two kinds. There is a team-managed and a company-managed. For most of this course, we'll be talking about company-managed spaces. Team-managed spaces, though, do exist, and there are some questions around them. They have more control for the space admin. For example, the space admin in a team-managed space can go in and change workflows or add work types, whereas in a company-managed space, they cannot. They are reliant on the Jira admin, and this is because those configurations are shared in something called a scheme. Company-managed spaces allow for greater control. They also allow for these configurations to be reused. Imagine you have 5 different teams, all with a similar process. You can give them all the same setup, even though they have different spaces. This allows ease of control at scale, but takes some control away from the space admin. So once you get into your project as a space admin, keep in mind you probably will not be able to change things like workflows, statuses, fields, permissions, and notification schemes. So anywhere you see the word scheme after something, that's a clue that maybe you as a space admin can't change it. That said, as we'll learn in the course, you should still know where they are and what they're for. Next, we covered some basic concepts in Jira. For example, a space is just a collection of work items. Now, these terms are new. If you sit down and take the 620 right now, or as of January 2025, the terms project and issue will show up. A space is just the new name for a project, and an work item is just the new name for an issue. I will do my best to use the new terms, but a space is a collection of work items. It's a way to organize our work. It could be done by team, by project, or by something else. A work item is an individual thing that you or someone else will work on. This could be write code. It could be pay a bill. It could be investigate. It could be help a customer. It almost doesn't matter, but it is how we track work in Jira, and it's one of the main things most people will be interacting with. Next, we spoke a bit about navigating Jira. We took a look at the navigation bar up at the top that included our quick search, how to make work items with the create button, and importantly, the sidebar. While this might not show up on the exam, it is important to know how to navigate and where to find things, because as we start to explore, we're going to be using the sidebar a lot, and understanding how things like search works and where notifications live are very important both to our day-to-day lives, but also some exam questions will relate to things like notifications, so you have to know what they are. And last, we spoke about spaces and how spaces are created. As a space admin, the individual who the 620 is intended for, we typically cannot make spaces. Only a Jira admin, someone with administrative control over the system, can go make new spaces. There are some exceptions, but in general, this is a small group, might be in your IT department. They're always good people to know, especially if you need a new space. Jira Cloud also supports templates for spaces. You don't have to memorize them, just know that they exist and know what some of the general ones are. But these are pre-configured spaces. They have certain things set up to support certain groups like human resources for onboarding, or product management, or a software developer. So as a space is created, these settings can be used to pre-configure it. Now, once it's made, space admins can go in and they can tweak it. They can add or remove features or make other adjustments. There are some things, however, that space admins cannot adjust. So that is a very quick recap of what we did last week. Definitely make sure you're following along with the online sessions. Jump into that companion course. It's entirely free. Every week, the next module will be unlocked. You'll have quizzes and labs and other things to help test your knowledge. And I really look forward to seeing you in that next one soon.